The movie opens up at night when a young boy named Harley cannot sleep and sneaks into the living room wearing an elephant suit. Slowly, he approaches his mother, Beth Williams, who's sleeping on the couch. Right then, Beth opens her eyes and notices an elephant figure staring at her. She screams out of fear, but it's none other than Harley looking at her. Without wasting any time, Beth turns on the lights and asks Harley what he's doing there at this time. Harley replies that he can't sleep and is excited about his birthday as it's already 2 a.m. Beth then tells him that his birthday celebrations have not started yet and he needs to wait till tomorrow. After this, she takes Harley to his room and tucks him into bed. Next, Beth goes straight to her elder son, Austin's room, and confronts him for returning home late. Austin tells her that he's already 19 years old and she should not worry about him. Hearing this, Beth says she just wants to know that he's safe and sound before going to bed. Before Beth leaves, Austin requests her not to tell anything to his stepfather Mitch, and she agrees only if Austin will return home before midnight. The following morning, Beth starts preparing for Harley's birthday and gets a call from one of Harley's friends, Duncan, stating that he'll not be able to attend the birthday party. Hearing this, Mitch suggests Beth invite Harley's other friend in place of Duncan, but she replies that Harley does not have many friends. She then instantly remembers another kid from Harley's class and calls her. Meanwhile, Austin gets out of his room and heads straight to Mitch's dressing table. He pulls out the drawer and is ready to steal some money kept there. To his bad luck, Mitch arrives there at the same time and asks him what he's doing. Austin then lies and tells Mitch that he's there to search for a pair of socks for himself. Later, the whole family gathers to celebrate Harley's birthday and give him gifts. Austin provides Harley with a magic wand that expands when pushed a button. Similarly, Beth and Mitch provide him with tickets to the live show of his favorite children's series, The Banana Splits. Harley becomes very happy to get the tickets, and soon they leave for the studio, not before picking up Harley's classmate Zoe from her house. In the next scene, the family, along with Zoe, arrive at Taft Studios and the guard gives them directions to reach the auditorium where the Banana Splits group is performing. After some time, while standing in the queue to get into the auditorium, the show hostess, Paige, addresses the audience and requests them to hand over their cell phones. She approaches a couple, Thad and Poppy, and takes away Thad's mobile phone as he was filming a live video with his social media friends. On the other hand, when the Banana Splits team arrives there in their small car, Harley gets so excited that he runs in front of their car. Fortunately, the Banana Splits member presses the brake in time and Harley's saved. Mitch, who's chatting with someone, does not pay enough attention to Harley before Paige snatches his phone and asks him to take it after the show. Next, Paige asks for Austin's phone, but Austin asks for her number before handing over his phone to her. When Paige does not provide him with a reply, Austin believes that he's being creepy and apologizes to Paige for his behavior. Moving on, the show's manager, Andy, goes straight to the show's producer, Rebecca, and asks her to cancel all the other shows of the Banana Splits. Andy then informs Rebecca that the Banana Splits show is a flop, and he's soon going to stop displaying the program to the audience. Moments later, Paige appears on the stage and addresses the audience. To make the program interesting, Paige gets on the stage and asks the audience to check their tickets if it has a star on the back. She mentions that the customer who has the star on the ticket will get a chance to meet the members of the Banana Splits in person. As soon as Harley hears this, he and Beth check the tickets, but to their bad luck, none of them has a star. Soon the live show begins and the characters of the Banana Splits, featuring 4 animatronic characters, Fleagle the Beagle, Bingo the Orangutan, Drooper the Lion, and Snorky the Elephant, get on the stage and start performing. Steve, who's supposed to be with the group to perform, does not appear on stage on time, and Paige goes to check on him. Sadly, she finds him completely drunk and not willing to join the team. Right then, Austin, who told his parents that he's going to the bathroom, arrives there and tells Paige that he has to talk to her. Seeing him, Steve gets angry and closes the door of his room. Austin talks to Paige and tells her that his brother is a real fan of the Banana Splits and wants to meet the team members. Though none of his family members have a star on their tickets, he tells Paige that it's his brother's birthday and asks her if she can allow his brother to meet the team. After hearing him out, Paige develops a soft corner for Harley and urges Austin to stay there after the end of the show. At the same time, they notice Snorky standing behind them and listening to their conversation. In the following scene, before going on the stage, Steve overhears Andy talking over the phone and informing someone that he's actually canceled the other shows of the Banana Splits. As soon as Andy puts down the phone, he gets shocked to see Bingo standing in front of him and gets kidnapped. Next, Steve arrives on the stage and informs the other members of the Banana Split team that it's their last show. Soon the show ends and the rest of the audience is asked to leave. Paige then talks to the audience having a star on their tickets, along with Harley and the family, and guides them backstage to meet the team in person. Meanwhile, Steve insults the Banana Splits members and expresses his happiness about the cancellation of their show. He even insults each of them and spits on the face of Drooper. Suddenly, a red light glows in Drooper's eyes and he attacks Steve, inserting a giant lollipop deep into his throat and killing him on the spot. Afterward, the group of the lucky audience is taken to the team of Banana Splits, where they begin taking pictures together. Beth asks Austin to look after the children while she goes and finds Mitch. At the same time, a middle-aged man, Jonathan, talks to Paige and requests her to let his daughter, Parker, meet the producer of the show. He tells Paige that his daughter is very interested in plays and just wants to give an audition to the producer. When Paige refuses, he decides to secretly take his daughter to the producer himself and walks away from there. Paige runs behind them and tries her best to stop them. While Paige is away, Thud and Snoopy enter the restricted area and begin exploring. Austin also leaves to find his mother, asking Harley and Zoe to keep playing with the characters. Moments later, Jonathan finds Rebecca and requests her to look at his daughter's performance for once. To his dismay, Rebecca tells him that the Banana Split show has been canceled by Andy and mentions that she's not interested in Parker's performance. Hearing this, Jonathan immediately grabs Parker's hand and leaves in search of Andy. Outside the studio, Beth meets with Mitch and finds out that Mitch has been cheating on her with his office assistant, Carl. When Beth confronts him, Mitch explains that it's because she's been spending more time with Austin and Harley than with him. Austin also arrives there and berates him for his irresponsible behavior. However, despite his cheating getting exposed, Mitch has no guilt on his face and he just walks away from there. Moving on, Thad and Poppy make their way to the Fleagle's Magic Shop set and take out their other phone to record the place and go live on their social media. Here, Thad proposes to Poppy, and to his good luck, she accepts her proposal. While they joyfully become engaged, Fleagle shows up and attacks Thad. He places Thad on a table and cuts him in two with the help of a big saw. Poppy, on the other hand, keeps on crying and can do nothing to save Thad. In the meantime, Fleagle hears Harley and Zoe approaching the place and is compelled to leave Poppy. Moments later, Harley arrives there and requests Fleagle to take him to meet Snorky, his favorite character of all, and Fleagle nods his head in agreement. In the following scene, Jonathan enters Andy's office but fails to find him inside. When he looks to check around, he suddenly gets attacked by Drooper, who sprays a fire on his face, causing Parker to scream out of fear and run away. Unfortunately, she runs into Bingo and gets captured inside the workshop. Outside, Mitch continues his conversation with Carl until he hears a hurling sound approaching them. He then turns around and notices Snorky riding his car and driving toward him at full speed. Trying to save himself, Mitch starts running, with Snorky pursuing him. Later, Beth and Austin return to the place where they left the children, but they don't find them around. Beth gets really worried, and Austin tries his best to calm her down. While they're talking, Jonathan arrives there with his burnt face and informs them that the Banana Splits attacked him. As soon as Rebecca hears this, she asks Paige to call 911. Paige then rushes to get the smartphones, but finds out that all of them have been destroyed. Following this, Beth and Austin start searching for Harley and Zoe on their own and get attacked by Bingo. Just when Bingo is about to hurt Austin, Beth pushes Bingo down from a height, saving her son. After this, they find Poppy in a devastating situation where she's grabbing Thud's hand, assuming that he's still alive. Beth sympathizes with her loss and asks her if she's seen Harley or Zoe. Poppy tells her that the kids have been taken by Flegel, but has no idea where he took them. Beth then talks to Poppy and succeeds in persuading her to join them. In the meantime, Carl, the person behind the banana splits, appears in front of the kids and they beg him to take them out of the locked workshop. When he tries to open the lock, he notices Drooper approaching them with an injured Bingo. As the kids already have the keys, they manage to get out of the workshop and lock Carl inside. Meanwhile, Flegel and Drooper seize Rebecca and Jonathan and transport them to one of the stages, the sloppy time course, where they're made to successfully finish the stage in order to free themselves. But as they get to the end, Flegel uses a key to stab Jonathan in the back, and Drooper uses a hammer to shatter Rebecca's head, killing them on the spot. On the other hand, Harley, Zoe, and Parker come upon Snorky while looking for a way out. Harley convinces the others that Snorky's a good character, and Snorky also complies to assist them. Elsewhere, Paige tells Beth, Austin, and Poppy that the phones were broken and they're not working, making it impossible for her to contact the police. While searching for the kids, the group arrives at the workshop, and after noticing Carl there, Paige asks him how to halt the banana splits from hurting the people. He says nothing, but only mentions that the banana splits are programmed to keep performing. Right then, the group hears music coming from an opening and decides to follow it. While the others leave, Poppy stays behind and notices a mask placed there for the fifth banana split member, Hootie. As soon as Poppy wears the mask, she gets controlled by the programming and kills Carl. As the group walks through the opening, Beth, Austin, and Paige are horrified to discover that Flegel and Drooper have been amusing kids with cruel and disgusting activities like cutting Andy's limbs off and burning Steve's dead body. At the same place, Harley, Zoe, and Parker are also brought by Snorky and are chained up with the other children. Snorky, however, hands Harley the keys to the chains that are fastened to the kids' feet. After Snorky leaves, Harley unlocks the chains and releases the children, making them run toward an exit door. Beth then suggests that Austin and Paige guide the kids to safety, while she starts fighting with the banana splits. She nearly gets killed while trying to attack Flegel and Drooper, but to her good luck, her sons come to her rescue and help her to eliminate the two. While trying to escape from the place, Beth, Austin, and Harley rush toward the exit door, but Bingo succeeds in trapping them. Luckily, when he's about to attack them, Snorky shows up and fights with Bingo. The two banana split characters fight against each other and get injured very badly. Before Snorky passes away, Harley consoles him by assuring him that he'll always be his favorite. In the last scene, the group manages to get out of the place and witness that the police have already arrived there. Austin again approaches Paige, and this time she accepts his proposal and gives him a kiss. Injured Mitch comes to Beth and tells him that he's realized her importance in his life. However, Beth punches him in the face and tells him that she wants a divorce. When the cops and the rest of the group depart, Mitch is left behind and eventually gets hit by the banana buggy again, killing him on the spot. The movie ends with Poppy driving the banana split buggy and Flegel laughing and getting activated.